Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are listening. I am Richard Murray, and the following is my thoughts on false civility in fiction. I was told by someone I see as an artist positive in quality, who reviewed my National Novel Writing Month NaNoWriMo work, still in an early draft phase from last year, that I quote, "There has never been a case where a graphic depiction of a rape or sexual assault was plot essential, and my understanding of a story suffered because I did not consume the graphic imagery of an explicit rape on the page." I thought about the position and how commonly implemented it is in modern media, especially the most potent modern media, that being video format. I cognize it is producers mostly, but also editors, writers, thespians that make this choice all too often, but I ponder its artistic warrant. In 12 Years a Slave, two scenes occurred to me. The first was the rape of Patsy. In the same film where the character Patsy, played by Lupita Nyong'o, is nearly whipped to death or suffers head trauma from a thrown object to her head in Patsy's rape scene, her regular rapist, or her owner, Master Epps, played by Michael Fassbender, merely gets on top of her and rapes her using a devilish whisper. But when you look at the whipping scene after, it is clear to me that scene as she's being raped did not go appropriately to character. A more honest scene would have been Epps raping Patsy viciously until her numbness was broken, to get the reaction he clearly desired, which he achieved later as she screamed while he whipped her mercilessly. The next scene I thought to in 12 Years a Slave involved the Eliza character, played by Adipero Oduye. I can comprehend Patsy's numbness, being strong enough to survive any man's physical abuse to her. It fit her character's scenario or backstory. She clearly is used to rape. But Eliza's scenario warranted less the ban, stemming from producers, writers, directors, thespians on well-defined or graphic rape. I remember when she and Solomon were being shipped, and how one of the white sailors got on top of her, ready for rape, but then she says, "Not with a child," and he relents. That was artistic sin. A rapist, totally mature in their actions, stops their routine after the plea from an enslaved, powerless person. Artistically, he should have raped Eliza while her child Emily was unmoved. The friction between a powerless parent trying to protect their child from the inevitable to either side, a character gratifying themselves absent any penalty or illegality or ability to be denied, would have been honest. Now, the producers, directors, writers, thespians all have reasons. Fiscal reasons to not accept either scene as I view it should have been. Producers say their accountants or their own experience or fiscal intuition know that ticket buyers will not accept that scene. Directors say the audience will lose a positive view to their name being attached to a film, stating they are a porn director now. Even though it can be argued no acting is stronger than compared to porn in the physical acts that set it apart. Writers side thespians will concur side the director to a fiscally costly damage to their name or their brand in media. I do not deny truth in either position I just mentioned. The reviewer to my work is correct that a work, in this case 12 Years a Slave, did not require the scene changes to convey the overall message, but a hidden message is conveyed in the absence to the scenes as I described them. That hidden message is false civility from criminals. I define civility as helping another. Criminality is harming another. Master Epps, who nearly whipped Patsy to death, who does not allow her to wash, could not take it upon the enterprise of breaking her numbness successfully. He could only gratify himself upon her quiet strength. The ferryman gave his routine pause at the behest of an impotent parent. False civility was given to these characters, and that extends to the next two examples, where my reviewer's words show support in the development to other artists as a normal that does not hinder the plot but also adds false civility. In the original script of the 1985 film Legend, linked in the transcript, written by William Hortzberg, Darkness is called the Baron, and he whips Lily continuously to break her spirit, succeeding in doing so. When Lily says, "You may have my body, but never my soul," he argues she may not have one, a thing he calls a palsy trifle. He wants the body. I quote the Baron later turned into Darkness the satyr. "What began with the lash shall be concluded with a caress." This character is honest. He is not only a criminal, but one who never betrays his lack of civility. He wants to harm. He likes harming and does not betray that. Now, to be artistically fair, Hortzberg applied a better method to satisfy my reviewer's position than in 12 Years a Slave. He didn't show Lily's raping. He showed the transformation after her raping, which occurred after her breaking. Again, the original screenplay is linked in the transcript. Enjoy. I think it is better for you to read the process than for me to say it. But to this video's point, Hortzberg did what happened in all the original fairy tales or fables from throughout all humanity. He didn't add false civility, a modern, common desire from those who create art, and in rape scenes that false civility all too often breeds a dangerous message for known fiscal reasons. Sometimes the criminal is just that. Hortzberg didn't deny the Baron, later Darkness the Satyr, civility. The Baron is civil to his own kin. He loves or adores his own kin, the bats or the goblins. He is criminal to humans, unapologetically or completely. In the final version to the 1985 Legend film, Lily is wooed through the living dress. Lily went from a woman broken through physical violation who will overcome it, to a woman requiring wooing to be broken by the same individual hacking humans alive in the lower levels of the great tree. The Baron was turned into an acceptable character on all fronts to the viewership. Visually still stunning, but character-wise murdered. Did the plot to the film get hurt by this murder? No. Was Lily's original rape needed for the final film? No. But that drop of civility, in Baron's case, gallon of civility, denies the truth in the character that can relate to real-life human situations, like whites enslaving blacks in the USA, depicted in 12 Years a Slave. Lastly, Old Harley Quinn, a fictional woman in love to her rapist, her abuser. Harley Quinn started out in the Batman animated series, A Thing in My Lifetime. I remember those episodes. Harley was abused at every moment, physically. She nearly had a terminally broke neck. She was hit in the face many times, tripped up, shot with various guns, but she always smiled at the end. The Joker is a fictional character whose currency is crime, meaning not illegality or legality, but hurting others. The Joker lives for hurting others. Of all his actions that seem mentally imbalanced, his hurting others is the one thing his mind is clear on. The Joker is not mentally imbalanced. He is insane if you define insane as not clean. But he merely acts random or imbalanced. This is what attracted Harley Quinn, to the Joker in the first place. As a psychologist, she was certain those considered mentally unstable can be made stable again. The Joker is not mentally unstable. He is mentally stable enough to act mentally unstable. A very rare thing indeed, and that led to her falling in love to him. Now you have a woman in love to a man she has to deem insane or mentally imbalanced who is acting in himself perfectly normal, while you have a man who hates a woman he cannot kill until he proves to her she does not love him. The original Batman animated series cartoon displayed the inevitable, that Joker will kill Harley eventually. But instead of that occurring in comic books, Harley now does not love Joker, but is still Harley Quinn, which doesn't make sense in that Quintel made Quinn from that love, or in the movies, where Joker seems unable to harm Quinn physically outside of pushing her in the chemical vat that made him in a romantic leap that portrays the Joker character to me. The reason why is the following visuals. This goes back to my reviewer and the plot viewership reception. Women love Harl. Now some can argue that the modern comic book Harley Quinn, who hates the Joker and has in Poison Ivy a girlfriend slash lover, is the Harley Quinn referred to, though I find that use to Poison Ivy another problem, but that is another issue. The Harley-Ivy union is in earnest a way to bait female or male readers who want to see two publicly intimate female characters with each other, a purpose that is about garnering audiences while getting away from two characters in Quinn or Ivy whose relationship views are complicated or more problematic. Harley Quinn never kissed the Joker originally. Remember the cartoon when she tried to give Joker a kiss on his birthday and he hit her straight in the face? This means what? The Joker's side Harley Quinn have something in common. Both suffer from a false civility in each of them by producers, directors, thespians, writers, artists, like my reviewer, who feel that rape beside other things cannot be shown if not needed in a plot, when the need is from the characters themselves, not to the plot but to their mere identity. In the films, Joker, a public, unashamed, unbounded criminal, is unwilling to test Harley Quinn's love through physical assault. In the original Batman film with Jack Nicholson, the treatment to the old mob boss's wife, Alicia, played by Jerry Hall, whom Joker as Jack Napier fornicated with before his incident, was more honest to the character of Harley Quinn, even though she did not exist, she being Harley Quinn, than any other concerning a woman similar in Harley's position. Heath Ledger's Joker does let Batman's love interest go, but she never confessed love to the Joker. I wonder if the producers, directors, or others thought about having a Harley in the Dark Knight film, but considering how the movie was, probably felt like my reviewer, unnecessary for the plot as it will demand scenes that may disturb. But like the first script of Legend, by not having the scenes at all, it was better than a false civility version. But the following is imbalanced. Burning someone alive is viewable, but a rape to a woman is a no-no. False civility. In the comics, Harley Quinn, born from her obsession turned love to Mr. J, now never really loved the Joker, but that makes Harley Quinn a joke. No longer is she a woman who fell in love to a man who is being totally honest to her, a man who never betrays his true self to her and anyone else. A man who proved her wrong about mental instability. Mental instability itself, another issue warranting more discussion later. Anyway, Harl is now a failed psychiatrist who emulates the man whom she tricked herself on. But if she comprehends that she does not love him, then why remain Harley? It makes no sense. If she truly had criminal intentions before the Joker, she did not need the Joker. If it was the relationship to the Joker that generated her criminal behavior, then how can she view his actions as a trick when he never tricked her? She was amazed that he was who he is, and fell in love after. False civility corrupted that. Harley Quinn, in an age of Me Too, is a female character who is publicly in love with her abuser. Love conquers all, even when the cost from loving someone is accepting with a smile their criminal behavior towards you. False civility, pushed on by anyone to fiction, anyone being from producers, editors, directors, drafters, writers, thespians, or similar, provides a negative message. The viewership may be trained to accept it. The accountants will always push for it in kind, But false civility makes slavers all of a sudden concerned for the enslaved, makes creatures that hate humans seem concerned about human dignity, makes a couple only half in love not reach their inevitability or their truth, while being idolized for lies that the falsehood pushed on them creates. I'm Richard Murray, and you'll find the transcript linked in this video's description to my blog on the African American Literary Book Club, AALBC. Be safe.